The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Would you come?
And we're on the air, we're back. It's the first show of Counterflow after how long?
It's been two
years. Come on, come on.
Years.
The rent-a-crowd in the back, can you please? That is not a clap machine, that is the best crowd that you can buy. I'm James Deakin.
I'm Pacho Blanco.
I'm Alan Sevilla, and it hasn't been 3 years. Are you sure?
It feels like dog years because it feels like 21 now because it's been, we used to do this show. We were actually the very first radio show on motoring in the country, and since then we lasted, I think it was 7 years.
7 years, yeah.
We started, and we hit number 7 in the country.
Yeah.
Number 7 or number 1?
No. I remember we were number 7, but in the top 10, we were the only talk show.
We were the only talk show. We're competing against all the mainstream music shows, etc. And enough of the bragging, right? Enough of the self-plugging. I know this is the internet, but there is a cybercrime law now, and we got to be very careful about the libel, about promoting ourselves, because some people might like it and then get sued and jailed. We don't want that to happen to our only 2 viewers out there. Hi, Mom. All right, this is a show all about cars. If you've not watched it before, well, you'll be one of the many because it's the first time we've aired this on this new farm media. There you go.
No, New Media Factory.
New Media Factory.
Inside
it's the
Beyond the Box.
It's the first show, right? we're behind Beyond the Box. Okay? Beyond the Box is in front. That's the store we're broadcasting from here in number 1 Rockwell, and we are just doing this off the hip. If you haven't already noticed, it's all about cars. So let's get straight into it.
Cars or just wheels?
It's anything on wheels.
Anything about the motor.
Even mountain bikes, because look how much weight he
We
does.
used to say if it's on the road, we'll put it on the air, and that's pretty much the same motto. And I'm from a magazine called C Magazine. You can see my roving billboard here. I'm also a motoring columnist for the Philippine Star. Alan is?
Yeah, I'm also from C Magazine. I'm their photographer, and I also work for Philippine Aluminum Wheels, and I do PR for them. And we got Pacho, our resident engineer.
And then I'm not from Sale Magazine. Sorry about that. Yeah, but I work with Autoplus, and then also we're doing some racing and have my own kind of company with BRE, and then we're doing racing, basically making toys for the big boys, like making more horsepower, more performance, and then also in some cases better fuel economy as well.
All right, so basically that's very much the background. If you have any questions, we'll take them over the internet. At the moment, we don't really have a page. So those of you who know me personally, you can go on my Facebook page, and I'll be just checking it randomly. You can go to Alan's Facebook page or Pacho's, and we'll just try and answer your questions. We also have a guest coming up later on in the show who will answer all your diesel questions. I mean, this guy I'm told, can answer anything. If it rattles, he knows about it. Right?
Okay.
So he's going to be coming on the show from Verima Diesel. We got Andrew. That's around about halfway through the show. Let me just start off by saying what's been going on in the industry. Basically, very exciting year for the Philippine automotive industry. We've had more launches, I think, this year than any other year that I've been. I'm in and out of the country 3 times, sometimes a month. I came home last week. My dog bit me. It's just that's how. Seriously, it's like it barks at me. Yeah, I even got lost going to my house. But I just came back from the Paris Motor Show. That was pretty intense.
How was it compared to it? You can say when you talk about international shows like in Japan, how does that differ? In Paris Motor Show.
It's not as big as Frankfurt, I would say, but the Paris Motor Show is one of the most significant ones. So there's Geneva, Paris, and Frankfurt, which I would say are the top ones in the world. So they really wait to launch their best cars. They launched a McLaren P1 there. They launched the D-Max was launched there, the Isuzu D-Max, yeah. It happens once in every, 50 years, so that's pretty good. They also launched
Be careful, we are in the internet, there's
okay.
Watch out.
Every 12 years then, right? Now we've also got stuff like, what else did they launch? Well, the F12, that's been launched before. And why don't I just show you guys some pictures that we got here from the Paris Motor Show, and it'll give you an idea, and I can sort of actually end up, talking you through some of the cars, because there's some pretty wicked stuff here. All right. Okay, how'd that get in there? Alan, you've been using the iPad.
No.
You have, haven't
But
you?
what is the most memorable launch there, the Paris Motor Show? I just wanted to ask you, or a car that you fell in love with seeing it on display.
Well, the F12, it's sex on wheels. It's just the kind of thing that you can't look at it and not get aroused. It's something super special. So that's still, even though it wasn't launched there, I saw that in Beijing as well. That's a pretty special car. If we can get this up on the screen, I'll try and show you what we've got here from the Paris Motor Show. Oh, there. So that is a new A-Class from Mercedes-Benz.
Mercedes, yeah.
That looks completely different.
And it's just a good-looking car.
Yeah,
I think
it
so.
looks nice, huh?
I mean, but remember the old A-Class? That was just
Yeah.
like, you know.
It was, well,
No.
I wouldn't say pretty.
No, it wasn't.
But, yeah.
And there's the new CLS.
Yeah, CLS.
They have a CLS wagon.
Wow, that's
It's-
Oh, really?
Yeah. No.
It looks so different from the
Yeah.
previous generation.
But
Actually,
it's
I never
not,
liked the
it's,
previous
it's not
generation.
really
It-
as
it-
good as the sedan.
No,
as you say.
I think it's too radical because you've got that slope there. If you can see the back slope of the.
But
the
not
car.
as before, because back then when you sit at the rear, you have a hard time. If you're tall,
Yes.
you're gonna be hitting the roof.
Yes, I got a bald spot there after that.
Okay.
Going to Batangas. I remember. It was
Did it improve, James? Were you able to
It's
sit inside?
improved a lot, and because remember they're the first of the second generation of the four-door roadsters.
I see.
The BMW is the last to join the game with the Grand Coupe, and I test drove that in Sicily, and that's a pretty. They've got it right now, the formula. So Mercedes learned from that. They realized that these cars are also they're drivers' cars, but people are going to be sitting in the back, and so they've extended the headroom. The wagon looks a little awkward. I think I've got a picture coming up in a second of that. This is pretty intense. This is the new line of Peugeot. Now it's not going to probably hit production, but it's called the Onyx, and it is basically a supercar and a super trike. And these things are made from recycled newspaper.
But it's got two wheels.
Can you
Two
go back?
wheels, three wheels, right?
Yeah, but
just like the Piaggio.
yeah, no.
Yeah, like the MP3.
Yeah, but look at the difference on this one. See, the two wheels are in front, and
Yeah.
it's a single wheel in the back, which make it really stable and safe.
You're
It
right.
is. I tried the Piaggio MP3 here, and it's very nice. This is their supercar, Peugeot. Imagine they built their own
Wow.
supercar.
That's a good looking.
Wow.
And that, you see that texture there? That's actual copper, real copper.
Wow.
Yes, they're using copper, they're using carbon fiber, and they're using newspaper, recycled newspaper to make the interior. They're using felt instead of it's all
Wow.
recyclable materials. I mean, like the tree becomes a newspaper, becomes the dashboard, becomes back to nature. It's pretty intense, but that'll never hit production. Check this out. That's a new Mazda 6. What do you think?
Wow. Well, big
Comments?
change. But it still looks good.
Yeah, it looks nice, but I honestly don't really like much the front, the grille.
Well, why is that? You
Just
you
because
like
I
the
like it. That's
No,
it. You know,
really.
anything I
You know,
like,
it's
Paco
a-
has to not like.
Look, I'm wearing a Alonso shirt.
Can I just go back to the Alonso
No,
shirt, by the way,
man,
because
come on.
we were this is the first time we've done the show, so
Yeah.
And you text me so late.
I on purpose.
Yeah,
I say,
know.
can you guys not wear anything but green?
Green, yeah.
And guess what Pacho's wearing? He says, I have a green shirt. So I said, it's okay, buddy, I'll bring you a shirt. And I brought him an Alonso shirt because I know how he hates Alonso. Now, try and criticize Alonso when we talk about Formula One at the end
Why
of the
is
show.
that? Why do you hate
Because
Alonso?
I like him.
He's the
don't.
best
You have to pick
driver
it
out
up
there.
I don't.
I like him, he won't.
Yeah.
It's simple. Okay?
Here we are again.
There you go.
So here we go. We got that's a Ford Kuga, been around for a long time. I won't make any comment about that one. That is
And did you
this
know
one.
that
So this is the Infiniti Sebastian Vettel version.
Sebastian?
It's an actual
Wow.
Sebastian Vettel version. I don't know if the airplane can do the pinch there, but that
There
is
you
the
go.
car. It's the
Wow.
Vettel version Infiniti. It's
Is it the Q model?
no, that's the FX.
Oh, FX.
FX.
Okay.
The Weber one
Oh.
is well, it's
There's
a lot
also a
slower.
Weber car. Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit slower. It's a wagon. Just kidding. That's a supercar. There's that Onyx again. It's the three-wheeler. I think that looks gorgeous. Absolutely stunning.
And you know what's great with those three wheels? Just like what James told me, that you can drive it really slow at the same time. you can really bank.
You can bank, and then you know when you get the traffic lights, you just press the button and the wheels lock, and that's really awesome. So you can just sort of
you don't need a stand, or you don't need to.
It freaks out the underbone guys. So just like you just put it in, and then you put your feet up, you start texting, and they're like, wow.
Yeah, it's insane. Can you imagine? He was just doing 20, and he was really sideways with the Piaggio.
That's right, and we did side by side racing.
That's cool.
Wow,
that's nice.
That is nice. That's a car that they're trying to.
Looks like a Santa Fe or a.
That's more like a Subaru XV from
XV,
Peugeot.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So this car, Peugeot is, as we all know, launching in the Philippines very, very soon. There's about December we're looking at an official launch, but they will already. Oh, girls. They're going to be launching in December formally, but they're going to be appearing in the Autofocus show, which is a car show around MOA in October 13 or 16. They got 4 different models that they're bringing in.
But the cars are already here.
The cars are here. I already drove a couple of them.
Were you able to drive the RCs?
No.
It's a beautiful car. It's got the same engine as the Mini Cooper S.
Oh, yeah.
But it's tweaked differently. That's what I heard. Like 4,000 up to 4,000 RPM, it's very civil. But once you go past 4,000 RPM, it screams.
I should
So
have
it's
really
nice car.
Speaking of which, there's the car. There's the RCZ that Alan's talking about.
There you go. Beautiful.
And that is finished in matte black paint. And
Bubble top.
they've also got the copper on the roof, if you notice. That's also copper.
Wow.
But they're just trying to.
They're the only ones that do that, right, James?
Yeah,
with the copper.
Yeah,
body.
absolutely. But that one, I think they were just toying with us. They're not going to release that because at the moment.
Plus copper, it
Copper
ages,
tends to go green, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You really have to clean that.
Absolutely.
No, but you don't look copper. See?
Okay.
And
It's green. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, it's green.
Okay.
So there's pretty much the highlights of the Paris Motor Show. Unfortunately, I missed the McLaren P1 because they did that towards the end of the day. Let's see what else is interesting. Well, she is very interesting. One of the models there. And
Here we go again.
check out the interior of this car. Isn't that a lovely interior? It's beautiful. I had to take a closer
I know.
picture. Okay, I don't know who put those pictures in there. That's the F12.
Man.
That's the F12. You can look at that.
So much better if you get to choose a couple of one Ferrari. Would you choose that over the 458?
I'd choose that by far because I mean the 458 is very special. I also have a thing about the mid-mounted engines that makes a Ferrari. But I've driven the V12s before, the front mounted.
It's just different, right?
It's different, but you know what? It's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Here it is. This is unfortunately you're really gonna have to go full zoom into this, but you can't really see it. That was as close as I could get to it because I had already had lunch and I didn't want to lose it by looking at the car too closely. Because it looks awkward.
Yeah.
It looks a bit like a hearse. Memories. Check this car out.
It's that Civic.
Yeah.
What year is that? Civic?
I think that's a '73. I think that's the original, right?
Oh my
The
gosh.
very first Civic they brought out. New Outlander. Any thoughts?
Outlander. Well, it looks bigger, right?
Pacho?
It looks like Subaru.
But the front is just something weird.
It's
because
weird.
It's got
It's weird.
the bumper is too high.
It's a little, I'm a little out there with the styling. So this is a new Santa Fe. The new Santa Fe.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
I've seen videos. Of
Very,
that.
very nice. It is a very, very big improvement.
It's a
nice.
new body, right, James? Or is it the same?
Yeah, completely. And as a matter of fact, we'll be flying over there next week to Morocco to test it.
Oh,
I won't be going because I'll be going to test the 86.
You know,
in Germany.
the Hyundais nowadays, the style is so, the lines are so nice.
Very, very nice. The Koreans.
nice.
But
You look at Kia and you look
Yeah,
at
Kia,
Hyundai.
for the
Oh my
Kia.
gosh, it's
you
just,
put any Kia or an equivalent Hyundai next to each other, I'll always go for the Kia only because I love the Kia styling. That's a Peter Schreiber's design. The formerly of Audi, the guy who pretty much people say put Audi on the map as far as design goes, and he's got some pretty stellar designs. I mean, like you put a Tucson next to a
the Kia
Sportage, or a Sportage.
Yeah,
if you're in
Sportage.
France.
That looks like an Audi.
Okay,
It's a
this
dead
one I
giveaway.
couldn't figure out. It's the LFCC from Lexus.
Lexus.
Okay.
Okay.
What is that? It's a two-door.
It's a two-door now. I thought it was the LFA built on an LFA, but it's actually seems to be built on the LS, and that is a four-seater. So that is pretty radical for Lexus.
It is.
It's like a four-seater sports sedan. These
Wow.
They're sportier this time, huh? That's I guess.
okay.
further.
This is also a little controversial. This is the
Porsche.
This is a new Panamera hybrid.
Oh, Panamera.
It's a version. Okay, from the front it looks okay, but look at that back.
Is there
Look at
a
the back.
change?
Not so bad.
Yeah,
Not
it's
so
not so
bad.
bad.
It's even more radical than the last one.
Yeah, it looks like
What do you mean? What are the changes from the last one?
I mean, look how radical
The wide body kit. Are you talking
No,
about
no,
the,
no, no,
the way the how abrupt the ending of the
I see. Okay.
yeah
it looks more like a chopped up Cayenne.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's a chopped up Cayenne.
Because of the front, it looks.
or it's
exactly
they were
like-
trying to make a really nice one, then they run out
It
of
really
money.
looks like, the front looks like a Cayenne.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
And also
see.
like a the Gallardo that they made a big deal about that. Okay, A3. That's pretty much the Paris Motor Show. That's the electric version of the SLS.
SLS.
Wow.
And
They're gonna be releasing that soon, or
I
it's
don't
just
know, probably in very limited numbers. So that's pretty much the Paris Motor Show for you. All right.
How about locally, James? We had so many
Locally,
events
we
this
got
year.
so much happening.
Yeah.
We've got the Trailblazers being launched now.
Okay.
That is the first of the second generation 7-seater SUV. So if you're used to the Monteros, the Fortuners, the Altera, the Everest, now you've got a brand new player. And the nice thing about this player from Chevrolet is it's all new. So this is completely second generation stuff. And the platform is by far more sophisticated than anything. They've learned from the mistakes of the others.
One of the mistakes is gas consumption, right?
Gas
That's always been a
consumption,
problem.
The
with them.
NVH has always been a problem with these 7-seaters. The noise, vibration, harshness,
Okay.
and the ride.
Yeah, the ride.
The
The
ride.
ride of the train, but
Of
that's
the
you-
Fortuner.
you-
Meaning,
okay.
meaning of the Fortuner. Then the
All right.
Montero came in and really addressed that
Yeah,
problem by
you're
saying they really tweaked it because they came in much after the Fortuner.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Everest for me was I think the hardest one of all. The original
Yeah.
Everest.
You're
That was
right.
kind of really I shook a feeling out. You can get close up. Yeah, I lost a feeling on the rough road. But we had also there's the Altera, which goes the other extreme.
That's pretty stiff too.
It's stiff, but they put flex ride,
Yeah.
and
It's got leaf springs, right?
it's got leaf springs.
Yeah.
So
But if you're loaded,
Cybertruck.
it's comfy, Pacho.
Yeah,
But
no,
if you're
any
just
of them
driving
loaded.
alone,
Any
all
of them.
alone,
As
so
soon
of
as-
course it's bumpy.
absolutely.
No, but you know what? Actually, talking about those big cars and everything, sometimes the people really ask way too much from the manufacturer.
Yeah, you're
You know,
right.
you get a huge car that is designed to carry a lot of people,
Mhm.
and then you just put the driver and one passenger.
That's
and then,
true.
And then you're expecting, a very soft ride.
That's
So
true.
if you get a soft ride with a vehicle like that, once you put all the load, it's gonna go to the bottom and then it's gonna be harsh as well.
That's true. I don't see anyone complain that they couldn't transport a fridge in their Porsche. So why are they complaining that they, it's not
Something
designed
like
for
that.
that's what you're saying.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, the Trailblazer aims to address that situation because just like the new Ranger, which I'm driving, which is I love that truck.
The only one. There's
The
only a
only
couple.
one of actually it's a one of three.
One of three
One of
already.
three
Last
they
time I
can't
talked to you was the
Yeah,
sole
I
unit,
know.
then
No,
came
they-
two, now
exactly.
three.
They snuck
But that's
another
alright.
two, and then it's all new. So the whole platform has been designed with completely from the ground up, and now the ride is stiff but not harsh. It's not jarring.
Would you say it's stiffer than you
It's
previously owned
got
the
an
Navara,
eight
right? The
crossover.
Navara is a pretty comfy pickup if you're gonna compare it to the other pickups.
True. I would say that this is by far, I wouldn't even put it in comparison with the pickups that are on sale right now, except for the Colorado. The Colorado is a second generation as well.
Okay.
All new platform. So you're feeling, it's a more sophisticated ride. It is stiff, but you want that from a pickup. But the
Yeah,
difference between stiff and harsh are two different things.
Mhm.
It's well tuned for our roads. The power is fantastic. 200
How about the
horsepower.
gas consumption?
I'm getting a consistent 10.
No way.
Consistent 10.
You know what Brent
Yes,
told
he's
me
been
that,
very vocal about it.
Yeah,
He's-
that
he has a 2.2 liter.
2.2 and he's getting really bad numbers when it comes to fuel mileage.
Yeah,
So he's
does
like,
he know
I
he's
don't know
put
if it.
diesel in it, right? It's not gas.
Yeah, I
Maybe he's
know.
putting gas.
Maybe it's because of the way he steps on the accelerator.
It has to
but
be because
it's crazy.
You know
He's-
that issue came up. It's been brought up with me several times. I mean, the manufacturers are taking it very seriously. What he's saying because they're concerned. 2.2 liters doing what?
he said 5.6.
5.6.
Yeah.
I'm doing.
That's like
I'm
a
doing
turbo.
10. And then
gas,
if I drive really carefully,
yeah.
like if I'm really on fuel economy mode or being conscious about it, I get definitely highway. I'm getting 6.2 liters per 100, which is.
Wow, that's good. That's
Mr.
good.
Engineer, on the spot. It's 15,
Yeah, it's around 14.
14, 15.
But
Yeah.
sometimes, James, it happens, right? Like you have a bigger engine. It's because the pickup is heavy. And at the
Exactly.
same time,
I
also you put in a-
really believe on that one because Well, I got to drive the pickup of the 2.2.
Of Brent?
Yeah, of Brent.
Okay.
And then, well, the car feels heavy, you know.
It
And
is
then,
heavy, yeah.
you know, you have a hard time trying to pick up the speed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, once you get that one and you get in stop and go traffic, you know, you have to, you know, not like your pickup, you know, has a bigger engine. So basically, just only by let go the brake pedal, the car will automatically
yeah.
gonna move.
Okay, well, I know that with mine, maybe our next guest actually will be able to help us talk or shed some light on that too, because he does some diesel tuning, and he's the first and foremost expert, I believe, in diesel that I've met here in the country. So he can probably talk us through some of the things and maybe shed some light on Brent's problem. Maybe we should call him in. Just before we do that, I will just show you what I did, so that we don't look very awkward here when we all start climbing over each other. I will show you something that I did in Singapore. I was able to drive Alonso's car.
Wow,
F1
that's why he
car.
didn't win?
Huh?
The one that he's using now? No.
Give me back the shirt. Take it off. Seriously.
That's why he did not win.
The one
Now
that
I
he's using
know.
now, James, is
The one that he's using now. Okay,
Oh my
let's check
gosh,
this
that's
out.
insane.
And while we check this out, we're going to put this on full screen, and when we come back, we'll be 4 people, and you'll be really amazed. You wonder how we did that. So this is his steering wheel. When it comes up. Oh! Check it out. Check it out. That's a steering wheel. All right. This is me climbing into. Okay, it hasn't got wheels, his car, but it is actually his car. It's a simulator, right? But this is not just any simulator. This is 300,000 euro worth of simulator, and not
What?
Yes, because it's built for Alonso. The steering, Pacho, feels exactly the same as the steering wheel of a Formula One car. The weight, and they said it's exactly planned that way because it's designed to be perfect. Right? The brake
Okay,
pressure and the pedal feel
Everything is
exactly
the
how
same.
Alonso likes it because he's studying the tracks. And when you brake a Formula One car, you need to apply 100 kilograms of force to brake it. There's no person in the world that can actually lock up a Formula One car, the wheels,
Yeah.
at high speed. It's impossible. No matter how hard you press that button,
Schumacher did it.
not at high speed, because the downforce is so low, it's so strong.
Okay.
You got like 400-500 kilo, 4 times the body weight of the car, pushing it down. No, you'll snap the pedal off before you lock the wheels. It's only when you start to shed off the speed and then the downforce becomes low, then the wheels lock. That's when he went into the back of Jean-Eric Verne.
So you made a mistake, you're saying.
Oh,
We will talk
Or-
about that
wait,
later.
okay.
Later on is F1.
Just relax. Okay, so this is a simulator there. You will notice that it's millimeter perfect. In fact,
Wow.
you know how much it costs to make to get the track? Because they have to make their own tracks, right? This is not available on PlayStation yet.
Yeah.
So they have to design their own tracks,
Yeah.
and they get a advanced GPS and this laser scanning, which does optical scanners. They do the whole track, and they get every bump, every undulation. The topography is mapped so well; it's mapped within 5 millimeters of the exact track. Even the surface, and it costs them 20,000 euro just to get that information. That doesn't include the rendering of the buildings, etc.
That's mind-boggling.
Anyway, I was able to do this, and I raced against Alonso 1 by 1. I mean, like time trials.
Really?
He did beat me, but they only told me that the 5 millimeter accuracy was out after. Had I known, I would have clicked, you know, that's, I'm just saying, you know. But they held that information from me. Anyway, that's the Singapore racetrack, and I think we talked enough about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze in here,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
we're going to talk to our guest. This is Andrew from Barama Diesel. Welcome to the show.
Okay, thanks.
Good evening, Andrew.
And this is
Alright.
Pacho, Alan.
Hi.
Good.
Andrew, you are, well, I guess the diesel expert here in the country. You've had talked about Barama Diesel and where it started.
Okay, look, pretty much Barama Diesel, we're an Australian-based business. My father began his journey into the diesel world right back in 1956, and we've grown our business back in Australia. And you know, through travelling to different parts of the world, of course, we saw probably the Philippines attracted us. We saw a need. We saw that usual thing that
Always
everybody's
happens
used
before
to.
this,
Yeah.
Was it Boracay?
Well, actually, for me, I could probably say it was EDSA.
Just down the road.
Black smoke.
there's a street not far from here that usually attracts anyway.
Really?
We won't go there. Was there a personal connection that brought you here, or was it just purely business?
Pretty much business at first. Actually, it was a Filipino
you
businessman that wanted a product and wanted some help. And
was it you that married a Filipina?
I have, yes.
So it wasn't the other way around. It wasn't like you married a Filipina, so you had a connection with the country. Let's start a business.
I made the choice, really. Probably you could say.
Okay,
Come here and. Yeah, it's probably why.
How long have you been here, Andrew?
Look, that probably goes back about 7 years ago.
7 years.
The new workshop facility's been running now since 2009, about 3 years. So.
Okay, the reason I invited Andrew on this show is because Andrew does a lot about the DP chip. He supplies the DP chip. This is supposed to, in theory, get you how many more horsepower and torque and fuel savings?
I mean, generally you're looking at probably around about the 18, 19, 20% range. Some vehicles, some of the maybe lesser performing common rail new diesels even, yes, there are a few that are a bit lesser performing, might come up more than 20%. Some of the higher performing, probably the smaller diesel cars, might be around about 10, 12% in power gains. But overall, it's generally a power gain we're looking at.
Okay.
Through that, a bit wider torque, and of course with wider torque, the foot comes off, and hence you can get sometimes an economy benefit.
All right.
So that's where it comes
now, we're looking at the DP chip there. It's a very unobtrusive piece of machinery, right? You just plug and play that thing.
That's it.
What about the warranty of the car? I mean, people are always generally worried about the put modifications on a new car. What happens?
Pretty much we've been in business for a very, very long time. We've been chipping for about 15 years back in Australia, and obviously as long as we've had products here in the Philippines, which is now about 7 years. The way the DP chip works and the way it integrates into the vehicle's computer system, it doesn't actually override. You could probably say it's sort of a slave to the computer. If the computer doesn't like what it sees, it'll kick in and bring the vehicle into like a safety mode. So there's restrictions in tuning. We're not looking at the high-end world of uncontrolled, blow up my beautiful new diesel engine.
Yeah.
We know customers really don't want that in the end. Sure, they want power, but in the end, I think people err on safety. And they really want that in the end. Even though they want the power, safety still comes back to nature for them.
I see.
So that's pretty much where the chip comes in. And because of that, integration, it just allows sort of a good tune, but it also puts a little bit of a cap on somebody tweaking things too high.
Okay.
And I think for us, that's where, back to the warranty question, we've sort of been so bold as to say, and that's pretty much worldwide. Obviously, Australia is a very big market. The Philippines is probably a growing market for us to offer engine and driveline warranty.
So you mean say if your manufacturer won't cover it, if whatever Isuzu or Toyota say, no, you have a chip there, we notice that, you'll pay for it?
Pretty much, that's correct. Pretty bold statement, but we're confident in the product. We're confident in vehicles today too. The build quality is good.
Yeah, you're right.
Vehicles don't really play up anymore. Maybe in the old days, we might have gotten stung by something that may not have been our doing, but nowadays build quality, is it rubbers, engines, plastics, all that stuff is pretty durable. And obviously, so.
Well, just wanted to ask, do they have like an average figure when it comes to, for example, you're putting a chip on your diesel pickup, and then you put it on a dyno. Do you have like an average of how the car is going to react, or the gains as far as the wheel horsepower? In wheel horsepower. Because usually when you talk about 20%, that's a pretty big figure.
That would be if it was my range, that's 240. It would bump it up to 240.
But as he was saying, then I really agree with him on that one. It really depends how the engine performs from factory. There are engines that perform very, very well from factory. You cannot get much out of it. Exactly. But there are other engines, the performance is really poor from factory. Yeah. You can get huge amount of increase, right? What I noticed about engines on a diesel engines is, well, the diesel engine basically, the more fuel, the more diesel that you put in it, you're gonna get more power. Right? So you basically, if you put more diesel, you're gonna get more power, up to the point that it might be gonna be harmful for the engine. But on the new vehicles, all of them are, has a huge amount of sensors. You have the airflow meter, you have the map sensor, you have NAC sensor, you have the O2 sensor, and all of these one has a certain limit of parameter.
Now we have an internet sensor.
Yeah, now we have an internet sensor. Okay? But that one, regarding your question about the warranty, You know, even if you put a, you know, like a piggyback or like a dippy shaper and stuff like that, even if you try to do a tuning too aggressive, as soon as go out of this, you know, the safety parameters of the stock computer box, it's gonna go to that limp mode. It's gonna change your check engine light limp mode, and then immediately what you have to do is just reset it and go back a little bit back, and that's it. You know,
That's it.
It's
So
really not gonna harm the engine.
there is no real. I mean, in Australia, you said that most manufacturers will now honor your warrant. I mean, they'll honor their own warranties.
Look, pretty much, yeah. Look, Australia, of course, we've got pretty tough laws there. It's all based around consumers.
Yeah.
So, you know, the consumer's pretty lucky in Australia in some respects. But, yeah, look, at the end of the day, you know, I suppose it's a status quo is where it comes down to with warranties, isn't it? And I think in the end it comes back to the dealer, the selling dealer.
Yeah.
Now, he can just look at the car and go, oh, it's got this on, let's run for cover. Here's our free ticket out of here.
Yeah, we'll never forget that story about that.
Oh,
that
boy,
unnamed manufacturer that.
Here is gonna be tough. You know, I have a friend who had a problem with the sunroof. With the bottom of the sunroof wasn't working,
Okay.
and then the warranty
Listen to this.
warranty was void because he changed his tires.
His tires.
Change his tires, but is it the same size?
No, okay, he changed his tires only because he liked the other tires. He saw that the other tires were the tread wear was lower.
Lower, yeah.
So it's supposed to be softer, but it's exactly the same dimension.
Yeah, because usually when you change rims, you go for an upgrade, which is a bigger size rims. But in this case,
Okay, no,
I am
what's it got to do with
shocked.
the
It's
sunroof?
same.
Okay,
Yeah, I know.
Okay, what does it have to do with the sunroof?
Yeah.
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 Shock the button.
All right, we got to wrap this segment up, but can you answer Alan's concern about our friends Ford Ranger, because they launched that car in Australia last year. The 2.2 version, he's getting a shocking 5 or 6
5 to
kilometers
6
per liter,
kilometers.
which is about, in Australia you do liters per 100, don't you?
Generally, yeah.
Generally, so he's getting about 15 liters per 100, 16.
It's pretty heavy.
It's
Yeah,
heavy.
pretty heavy.
Is that just
For a
driving
diesel,
style?
diesel
For
engine.
the 2.2 in our market, it's a very obviously just release. It's a fairly small seller. Of course, the larger engine is really the popular one. What we've found, and I can't vouch for it with the 2.2, but what we have found again by widening that torque band up, you get a lot less lag down low. Probably comes back to the foot. I mean, at the end of the day, where the foot is where the fuel is. So probably somewhere along that line is where we'll, if there is any saving to be gained, it would be through that.
Yeah.
If this guy was to visit you, you think you could do something for him?
Certainly worth a go, yeah, for
And
sure.
just before we wrap, because we talk all about the chip, you don't just do chips, right? You do diesel
fuel
fueling.
injection calibration.
So if people really have a problem with their diesel, they just can't seem to get fixed up at their local shop, you can pretty much sort out
Pretty
anything.
much. We've got specialist diagnostic equipment, special exhaust measuring gear. Yeah, as you know, it still comes down to experience. You know, when you're an experienced
Yeah.
tuner, you've got to put the energy
Like
in.
a doctor, I guess.
Exactly the same.
Where is the shop? People would probably need to know where that is,
Okay,
or how they
well-
get a hold of you.
Okay, it's probably on the map to me. It's really in the centre of Manila. Sometimes people go, oh, it's a bit hard to find.
It
But if you're around the Kallantong area near Pure Gold,
Yeah, okay.
okay, you have the road that connects and follows the river, JP Rizal.
Exactly, yes.
We're on, of course, the not on the City Hall. Sorry, not on the. Which side are we on? That's right. We're
Opposite
on the
City Hall.
Opposite City
Oh,
Hall.
all right,
side.
all right.
Follow the river road along,
Mhm.
and as you get up towards the Kallantong end, you'll see Berrima Diesel Service signs.
So you cross the Makati Bridge.
Bridge.
The Makati Bridge from J.P. Rizal. Cross that bridge, follow the river, it should be on your left
Left,
when
okay.
you're going towards Kallantong, and then you should find it there. Andrew, do you have a Facebook page or a
We do have
web page that you want
we've
to talk
got
about?
DP Chip Philippines. If you go on there on Facebook, we also have a Berrima Diesel Facebook one, so we usually do some updates on there. So yeah, of course our websites are quite comprehensive. FAQ pages are probably good ones. We do like to give information. We've spent our lifetime educating people, so yeah, that's one thing. If you want to get some information, feel free, or even just drop us a call. Get on and look us up.
All right.
Would you have-
Andrew, thanks very much.
Thanks very
I'm
much.
going to do this magic where I'm going to put a photo up there and then you're going to disappear magically. And then that seat will end up with a new guest. So thanks very much for joining
Thanks
us.
again, guys.
What I wanted
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you, Andrew. Well done. All right, I just wanted to talk about this briefly. Oh, yeah, you need me to do that, don't you? Okay. See, I'll tell you. Here I was feeling so senorita already. I thought it was just all going to happen magically. I tell you, you put a guy in the air for like half an hour, he already thinks he's a celebrity, and I think this is free to air on internet. Thanks to New Media Factory. And we're here at Beyond the Box, behind Beyond the Box at 1 Rockwell, and you can basically drop by and buy us a beer after the show. Okay, so this is, what I wanted to talk about was this new service that we've offered here. There we go. All right.
Wow, that's cool. I know.
So we're gonna talk to a guest when we come back here. But before our guest comes up, this little spark that you see here is a new service that Lifeline Ambulance has partnered with. Basically, I came up with this idea because we have a serious issue with drunk driving here in this country, and it's no laughing matter at all. I tend to see it happen just among my own group of friends.
Yeah, just look at James.
Actually, my wife developed it for me. All right, because we figured out. This is serious stuff.
You know how we say it in the country.
How what?
How we say it in the country. Why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly?
Whoa! Coming from the Colombian, what can I expect? I mean, if you don't know, he's the Colombian drag lord. King of the drag races. All right. So this little thing that you see on the screen here, this is a spark of light, we call it, and basically it was developed as a rapid response team unit. Now, originally the idea behind this car was to be the first at the scene of an accident. As we all know, response time is key when you're getting to an accident. Life or death depends on the minutes that lead up to it. So this car gets to traffic a little bit faster and stuff like that. And then as I was trying to understand the drunk driving problem here, I said most people tend to drive drunk, not because they're rebels or they're jerks.
It's because they don't have a driver.
They don't have a driver, and they find themselves in a situation where, oh man, what am I going to do with my car? Right? So if we could address that situation, then we could basically come close to solving the problem. So I spoke to Lifeline Ambulance Service. My brother runs the company, and I said, listen, is there anything we can do? And he came up, he said, well, we can actually use our own professional drivers to turn up wherever you are. You might be in a bar drinking, you find yourself, man, I've had, that oh shit moment in the bathroom where you're taking a leak and you go, whoa, this is not cool. Yeah. But you'll drive drunk because you don't want to leave your car overnight parking, vandalism, theft, or worse, explain to the wife where the hell the car is, right? So you call up 16911 or 0917 52 16911. They send this cute little spark out with 2 professional drivers who are trained by Tuason Racing School, and they will drive you home in your car. You sit in your car, professional drives you home, and that little spark just follows everyone home just to make sure everyone gets home safe. Great idea, right?
Yeah, that's
simple
awesome.
thing. And this thing, we even have a, let me show you here. No, we got some great stuff here. We have a live, okay, here, check this guy out. Okay, this is pretty much how it works.
I can't believe you put Vince there.
Yeah, they pretty much turn up at the bar and there you go, drive you home. Thanks for that, Vince, being a sport there. William Herrera is the rock star of Red Rock Travel. Red Rock Travel they specialize, I'm looking at my watch now because we only got 10 minutes to wrap this up. Really? Red Rock specialize in Formula One tours. Right? So they've been doing these boutique tours for quite a while until they stopped becoming boutique and started becoming a little mainstream. He takes people as far as Melbourne, Singapore, China, Malaysia, Abu Dhabi, Korea. Did anyone really go to Korea?
No.
Okay, he tried to take it to Korea. Not even the Koreans would go there. They're like,
what are the
unless
countries,
Gangnam Style is playing.
What are the countries left, William? For you to look at?
There's a lot of countries left, but I also brought William on the show. He's a fixture here in Counterflow.
Yeah,
you're right. Back. But we were in Singapore together, and that was a heck of a race. And I think, as always, we tend to wrap up with Formula One. So, what do you think of the championship so far? Have you even been watching?
No.
Really?
Pacho always watches.
No, I don't.
Really? Why is
Ask
that?
my wife. We don't.
Why not?
Because there was no Counterflow.
But it's exciting. It's an exciting season.
I have nothing
Well,
to
now you have
talk
to keep up the dates.
Yeah, it's his fault,
What?
It's your fault. Why? All of a sudden, he just put in Facebook, we want Counterflow back.
Oh, yeah, that was him. That's right. That was him.
William, thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
He's the key. He's the key.
William set up the Revive Counterflow petition.
Yeah.
He asked for 15,000 signatures.
Yeah.
We never got there. We were so touched by the 200 people that liked it. We said, why not? Right?
Yeah.
So there you
You
go.
have to give it a try. Just wanted to say it.
We have to give him credit for actually, you know, dragging us out of the woodworks and bring us back on air. So we attended the Grand Prix, which you can see behind us. Does that look familiar?
Turn 3.
Turn 3.
Oh,
That's where we were, and
That's where we are right now.
Yeah, that one.
we are broadcasting from Singapore's Beyond the Box.
Turn 3 Premier Grandstand.
Turn 3 Premier Grandstand. So, what's the next race that that you could be selling tickets to or handling tour packages from?
The next race is this weekend.
Japan.
Japan.
Are you sending anyone there? Or?
Unfortunately, no. After that is Korea, then Abu Dhabi. We will be going to Abu Dhabi. We had the promo with one of the Petron.
Yeah.
Yes. Here.
It's okay. You won't be liable for that.
Just making sure.
Soto can't get you for that.
Just making sure. So yeah.
Rewind. You don't have those black things you can put
A 5-second delay or something else.
RA114 or whatever. So yeah, the next one you can handle packages for is Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
So what would something like that cost somebody?
On average, it's quite expensive because
Coming from the organizer, you know,
Of course, it's pretty far.
yeah. It's pretty far. One thing, it's pretty far. And the base price of the grandstand tickets there is 600.
You cannot say we're not honest on this show. You can accuse us of a lot of things, but honestly
it's not
definitely we are very honest.
But I wanted to ask William because we always get questions in Facebook. Like if it's your first time to watch an F1 race, where would be the best place to watch F1? James already told me that Singapore,
Melbourne for me.
Melbourne.
Atmosphere, everything.
But in Asia, you told me it's Singapore.
Singapore would be good.
Yes. Malaysia's too hot.
Why is that? Yeah,
I know you asked William, but you know,
Yeah.
it's my Malaysia's too hot.
Yeah.
China has its own issues as well as the proximity to the race jacket. I just don't feel that you get the atmosphere that you do in Singapore and Australia now.
Yes.
You feel the same way?
Oh yes, definitely. Melbourne has always been the top for me.
Really? Same as James?
Yeah.
You don't even have to be that hardcore fan to enjoy Melbourne because you can take your family there. There's so much activity there. I mean, like really, the race is just a small portion of it. You've got carnival rides, you've got mega car shows everywhere, you've got bands, you've got. It's just always happening. Like you could literally go there not knowing anything about.
But that's what happened in Singapore, right? That's what they're doing. They have multi shows, different
They
shows.
do. I watched Maroon 5. They were like the best.
Yeah. Was it an hour show? No, just a couple of songs.
About an hour show.
An hour.
An hour show?
Yes.
Free when you're.
Katy Perry, Oasis, Maroon
So how
5.
long did that take? Since
Bananarama.
there are a lot of performers.
Sorry?
How long did it take? I mean, the concert.
Over 3 days.
Over 3 days.
You
basically,
don't perform every night.
Yes.
Maroon
Okay.
5 was on Saturday.
Katy Perry on Sunday.
Sunday.
Before
My gosh,
before
that's
quali
insane.
and before the race, the Pretenders would perform. Bananarama would perform.
Panorama, dude.
Yeah.
I pulled out my cloth headband. The 80s one, man. I was like rocking on. I love Aruba. And it's. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah,
We're on video.
cameras now.
Yeah, I forgot. Used to the audio only. These cameras. It's like one of those moments where you're like on radio. Did that come out loud? I thought I was saying that in my head.
I cannot believe it. It's recorded, James. You can always loop that. You can always loop that the next time we're here.
All right.
William, if somebody wants to get a package, how can they contact you or where?
The easiest would be to go to our website, www.redrocktravel.net. All our details will be there, or SMS me, 917-850-0486. That'll be cool.
All right.
And there's so what's your prediction on the championship?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would go either Alonso. Alonso's looking good. I don't know if Vettel can actually catch up, but
Yeah.
it's looking that
It's gonna be really hard for him to catch up to.
What happened with Shumi?
What happened to Shumi? Shumi.
Yeah, we were waiting for this because I was asking you guys.
Have you seen what
Is it a car problem?
They put out
What
on
is it?
Facebook. There's this picture. You know, they have the pit boards. And,
Yeah.
the lap time. They had this one with Shumi, and it was the eye chart. The E.
Wow, that is so mean.
Oh, it was mean, but you know what?
Oh my god!
All right, I
That's
actually
insane.
asked the eye chart. You know, the doctor has the E, the A, the O.
Yeah.
It makes you read like this. That's just his pit board. Can you still see this? Because you can't see John Eric Burns.
I didn't see this. I didn't see this.
But we know that Hamilton's moving to taking his place in. Well, we don't know for sure, right? They haven't officially said that Shumi's out.
yes.
They've just said officially Hamilton's in.
Yes.
But we have to assume that it's going to be Shumi being kicked out.
Why is this? Why is
No,
this
but
happening?
Shumi already said that he's gonna retire this year, right?
No, he didn't actually
No,
say that.
not yet.
Oh, yeah?
And Ferrari, you said, had been tweeting about Shumi.
Yes, and now earlier I saw a link that states that Shumi could be in line for a Sauber drive.
Okay, but that's
Wow.
already that's kind
Yeah,
of
because
sad.
they, because they like how he rear-ended. Okay, no, sorry. We're in the internet. I might get
But no,
No, honestly, I think there was a car problem.
Probably.
There was a
God,
Yeah, I think there.
probably.
Yeah. There is.
You're a nice guy.
No, really.
I know after he hit him, he had a car problem. Very serious. But he needed a new car. I mean, he demolished that thing. It was like glass. But the poor guy. I can actually share a little insight here because the guy that made the simulator that we drove in Singapore.
Yeah.
He was the chief of R&D for Ferrari during all of 5 titles of Schumacher, and then he moved to Red Bull, and he was also part of their. That guy is so well entrenched, and I asked him the same question because, first he said he was bragging about his machine, and he said this is just so perfect, and this is what makes Alonso so fast.
Yeah.
I said, so how do you explain Massa?
What was a good drive for Massa? Let's race.
What did he say? Next question, please.
No, he kind of involuntarily laughed, and then he said no. Next question, but I caught him off guard. He laughed because he knew that it's kind of Massa's nowhere near.
At least give him points. That was a good recovery when he was racing with Senna, right?
No, true. But come on, I mean it's little too late.
Yeah, I know.
But back to Shumi, I asked him. So seriously, he's worked with Shumi intensely over in the 5 championships. I said, what's wrong with him? And he said, I don't think that Shumi is any less of a driver today than he was back then. Number 1, the grid has changed so much. Okay, that's number 1.
That
Number
was
2,
really...
remember what made Shumi so good. One of our producers, the wife, is a big Shumi fan. Is this gonna be cut? Yeah, we're safe. Okay, so it's all business. Okay, he said one thing that made Shumi so particularly good was he was a brilliant driver, and he still believes he's the same driver today. The difference is Shumi was able to create a winning environment. He controlled everything. Bridgestone practically made a tire just for him. It was the Bridgestone Schumacher Potenza. And that was tailor-made for him. He had ECUs that were tailor-made for him. Now, you got standard ECU. You've got standard issue tires, all controlled. Now, the playing field is all of a sudden very level.
Very level.
Plus, he missed out on that growth where people had to grow into all of this.
Right.
So he said, I still believe he's still the same driver, but he's lost that winning environment.
It's because he took a break as well.
And he took a break.
3 years.
But remember, I thought that made a lot of sense. That was the best explanation I got. Because remember, you're only
But
dealing
Raikkonen also take a break.
But Raikkonen is a good example of exactly how fantastic he's been doing. I was never a Raikkonen fan. I really was quite, I lost a lot of respect for the guy when he seemed to lose so much motivation. And now I think, wow, the guy is really, he's incredible. He's back, all right.
So what do you think will happen there with Schumacher?
With Schumacher, I think he would be good value to a team like Sauber. But for him, not for him though, he's his depth perception, he's missing his breaking points.
Yeah, but when you looked at the replay, it's he really missed the breaking point. Yeah, I think he missed the breaking.
He missed the breaking point.
But it's just that they were saying in the coverage that there's something wrong with Schumacher's car.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But you know what?
But
But when you look at the replay, he locked up the front wheels badly. The rear wheels did not lock up, and the rear wheels are the one have the traction.
Really? I've never seen a rear wheel lock up in the Formula 1 car ever.
They do.
Really? I've
Yeah.
always seen like an
And
inside
it was a massive lockup in front. You should lock up also the rear.
Because he admitted it was his fault. I mean, so
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's a
Okay.
combination of both. Maybe, but he severely missed that breaking point, and you know, it's getting to a stage where the drive. I think he's taking away so much away from his legacy because. I respected the guy's decision to come back when he said, okay, 7 world titles, I got nothing more to prove, I'm just,
Yeah,
because I'm a racer at heart.
You
I
should've-
respect that. But at some point, you're diluting all that success.
He
by-
should have retired.
He should have retired. But
yeah.
maybe, I would hate to see him go to Sauber, because it would be like, wow.
Wow, this is gonna be starting again, starting all
quiet
over.
exit out to
Yeah.
Marussia in the
Oh
end.
my gosh.
Anyway, we
Yeah.
pretty much chewed through all of our time here. So unless there's something you gentlemen would like to add.
Well-
This Saturday, don't forget Circuit Showdown.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be very
Yeah.
fun. Other thing I want to add is I really want to thank God. Thank you, Lord, for allow us to have this show again.
Thank you, crowd.
Yeah, we just want to, you know, I know that things happen by a reason, and you know, God allowed to put all this one together again with the help of William. You know,
Thank you, William.
No.
everything. So yes, thanks God, thank you, Lord.
Thank you very much to all of those people who have supported us over the years, and those of you who have come back to watch us and support the show. We really appreciate it. It's back. I feel great. It's like
wow.
I don't feel like Shumi. It's like we never left.
Yeah.
We promise not to miss the breaking point on the show.
Yeah.
It will be downloadable on iTunes.
It will be downloadable on
iTunes.
iTunes immediately tomorrow. By tomorrow, it should already be canned. You can get a video podcast. You can also get just the audio version of it if you really can't take our shirts and stuff. And yeah,
The
you
place
can
to
also
be.
subscribe to the channel, right?
Yeah.
nmfnetwork.tv. That's just one word.
And thanks to New Media Factory
Yes,
here at
yes.
Beyond the Box.
Yeah,
for,
thank you,
being
thank
such
you.
a good host for this show.
One rock. And thank you also to our future sponsors. Shall we name them?
Call them out.
Definitely we have a lot of products to give out right
Oh yes, of course. We forgot to give away Motul
Yeah.
products. That gives you an excuse to tune in next week. I'll also be giving out these free driver on call cards, so
Yeah.
that if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're not feeling 100% to drive yourself home, it could be from alcohol, it could be from gout,
Anything,
it could
yeah,
be from
yeah.
you know just you just were in shock or something, you know.
You know, also there are times that it happened to me.
High blood pressure.
You know, it happened to me. I went to a restaurant, I got food poisoning,
Okay.
and then I had to rush. I drove myself to the emergency room.
Yeah.
And when I got to the emergency room, you know, they put a medicine for, you know, to calm down the effects and everything.
Mhm.
But that medicine makes you really, really sleepy. And they say you cannot drive yourself home.
Yes, and what are you going to do? Leave your car, etc. That's a
Yeah.
perfect example. You can always call Lifeline. They'll always take you home safely. Pacho, on that time, he called, but he kind of abused because he asked him to pick up the dry cleaning the next day and sent him on errands. Don't be a Pacho. Just, you know, these are life-saving
Point B.
Okay, we'll wrap it up. We'll leave it there. We'll give you some driver on call vouchers next week. William will be raffling off a free ticket to Abu Dhabi that he doesn't know about.
Korea.
It's all happening here.
I can give to Korea.
It's all happening here. It's all happening live. Thanks for joining us. God bless, and don't forget, drive safely.
Bye.
God bless. Bye.